52 episodes, 52 ordinary people, 52 real stories about things that affect overall health. Because there is a lot more that goes into being healthy than food and fitness. Inspiration, support, a new perspective, and knowledge. You'll find that and more here on the Healthability Project.
Welcome to the Healthability Project. I'm Robin McKenna. People come to the U.S. to visit or to stay for all sorts of reasons. Many come with specific plans. But plans can change. Things don't turn out the way they were intended to, and then new plans have to be made. How do you get through something like that? My guest today is Renata Ramos. She gave up her life and her family in Peru to come to the U.S. to help her mother. From there, life took some interesting turns. Renata shares how she made it through all those twists and turns and the remarkable perspective she has on it all. Thanks so much for joining me today, Renata. I am so happy to have you on the Healthability Project podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here, Robin.
So, Renata, what were you doing in Peru? What made you come to the U.S.? When was this?
My story began with a phone call. My mom moved to the U.S. To work, and I had a phone call from a doctor saying that she had suffered of depression, and that she didn't have anybody in the U.S. to support her and be with her. So that made me think that she need me. So I applied to get my visa, and I got it. It was hard. It's hard for somebody my age. I was only 23 to get a visa. Mm-hmm. So I got the visa, and I came to the U.S. to be with her. My plan was to be with her for a couple of months. I have a steady job in Peru. I was a principal of a kindergarten school. I was only 22 years old. And I was running a kindergarten school. And just took a leave for a couple of months and came to the U.S. to be with her. So we stayed together. We lived together until I helped her working. My family, there's interest that she worked for a Hasidic community, fixing, do alterations for people. So I decided to work with her for a little bit to save money to come back. But past a whole year that I was here, and I met somebody. We got married, and I have my first daughter, Alejandra. Marriage didn't go well. So I was already pregnant, so he left me. And I just started my journey with my first daughter, Alex.
At this time, were you still with your mom, or you moved back?
I moved back with her. And she was a rock. She helped me, taking care of Alex. I used to work at night in a bakery at 4 a.m. till 9 a.m. I come back home. My mom have already Alex ready, and I took Alex with me to do some cleaning houses. People in the community let me go with my daughter, and when sometimes it was too hard to go with Alex, I didn't even have a car. I had to just push my stroller in the middle of the winter. My mom took my daughter Alex with her to the cleaners where she worked, also doing alterations, and take her sometimes so I don't have to be so stressed, because sometimes I have 2-3 houses to clean, and it was too hard to go from one house to another one. So and I make it through. I can understand how I did working overnight and come back and work till 5:30, be with Alex, and 7:38 we were sound asleep. And it's hard to tell you, Robin, and we did this in one bedroom apartment that we have. We share the apartment with my mom, and we have the 2 beds, twin beds, and the crib, and we work it out really good.
So it seems that you really maybe didn't assess the circumstances that you were facing, and you just plowed through and did what you had to do to make it work. And you relied on the support of the people you worked for and your mother?
People were great. We live in Rockland County. Later on, I remarried, and I have another 3 kids. And Alex was in the age to go to school, and things didn't go well in the school district in Rockland County. People were nice with the Latinos. My daughter always come back home crying, and I spoke with one of the teachers, and she told me that I should think that maybe I should move to upstate New York. The people are more kind, more nice. And I tell you the truth, Rockland County, and it wasn't a great environment for us. The people weren't so nice with the Latino community. Every time the kids go out, everybody go inside. Well, nobody want to play with them. So it made me think that what the teachers say in the school, that maybe try luck in upstate New York. So we moved. My sister got into SUNY Newport, and sometimes we were coming here to visit her. And we did love it here. It's beautiful in Newport. So we moved here.
It was you, your mother, and the 4 children moved to SUNY to New Paltz?
No, in this time, I left my mom in Rockland County, and I moved with my new husband to Newport. But things didn't work out well here. So he left, and I stayed here with 4 kids.
Wow.
I tell you, things were very hard. We were evicted from the house in Newport. I have a friend who let us stay in her house until I stand up on my feet. I was still working in Rockland County, driving back and forth with the kids. This friend kept me in her house for 6 months, and she helped me finding jobs in Newport. So I started working here, also cleaning houses, and the community is great. I'm telling you, when there's snow time and the kids, it was no school, the kids will go with me to clean the houses. The people were so nice. They let me bring my kids all the time when there was no school, or over the summer too. Sometimes that I could miss the bus because it was too late, when they have school. The bus drivers will wait for me, circle around the house until I coming home. They will call me and say, "Are you around?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be there." And 10 minutes later, "I'm sorry, don't worry. And they will go around until I coming home to drop the kids. This community is amazing. People really help you. I was still working, cleaning houses, and which gave me a flexibility with the kids when they were in middle school and they start participating in sports. I couldn't make to all the games. I will not gonna lie to you that I make it to all the games because I have to work. But there were people in the community who will drive the kids back home after the games.
That must have released a load of stress off of you, worrying about the kids, unfortunately having to miss out. I mean, that's what happens to parents. They can't go to everything. But the fact that you had a full community really to rely on to help you, I mean, how did that make you feel?
That made me feel great. They made me feel happy. I didn't want my kids miss activities, so I didn't want my kids miss anything. I want my kids be part of part of the school, part of the sport, part of the after the school clubs, and I know that it will be impossible for me if the kids will not have people that surround them to help me with the transportation. Because you see, the after school program, if you have the after school program, not all the time the school provide the buses. So if I didn't have these people helping me with the transportation with the kids, they will just take the bus to go home, and that's it. And I didn't want that. I want the kids to do a sport. I want the kids to do more than just going to school and coming home. I think it's very important for the kids to have after school activities. So there was people to even drive the kids out of town to other locations, because when they have games, and the games, they were not always in the town in Newport. They were in Saugerties, they were in Kingston. They will, when I couldn't make it to the game, they will bring the kids back home. It was great. The community in Newport is amazing.
Looking back on all of that, what do you think drove you? Was it just sheer determination? Was it a view that I'm the only one, I have to do this?
Yeah. Well, I forgot to tell you that the kids go to school, and I was running to work, make it to the kids have the breakfast, send it all in the bus, making sure nobody missed the bus, go to work, come back home. When they were coming back home, we will have dinner together. And after that, I will go back again and clean buildings at night. Sometimes 9 p.m. I used to drive to Rockland County again, because I have this customer that he say, I will pay you more, just come, because I trust you. I worked for that guy for 16 years.
Wow.
And I will go there, clean the building, 10 p.m. at night till 1 a.m., come back home, make it to sleep, wake up at 6:30 to make everybody breakfast so they leave. And I spent that for years. Yeah. I had to leave the kids alone. They were good kids. They were all going to sleep. And they were, I was just calling. Okay, guys, everybody's going to bed. Yes. I got the text. We're going to bed. Don't worry. And I was just keeping doing my job and coming back home. And over the weekends, they would all go with me to clean the building. That was our routine. We would all go to Rockland County, clean the buildings, and after that, go to the mall and come back home again. That was our weekend together.
Wow. So did you work 7 days a week?
Yes, I do work 7 days a week. Yes.
For how many years?
Oh my God, I think for 15 years, I've been working 7 days a week. And when there were holidays, I work early in the morning, but later on I stopped working on the holidays. But yes, I managed to work like that for many years, and to afford everything for 4 kids. It's hard. It's hard, and they need all the equipment for all the sports. My kids were playing lacrosse, soccer.
Did you think that life was hard, or was it just you're just doing and going and not really thinking? And did you ever stop and think, what would life be like if I had gone back to Peru? Would life have been better or easier for you in Peru, since you were a principal at a school and you are now working 7 days a week and, struggling to make ends meet?
Well, I thought that one time, but you see, the kids born here, and I always thought that, that they will have better life in their own country. You see, in Peru, education is expensive. If you don't have money, you don't gonna go to college. I don't know if being a single mother in Peru working, I will afford sending all my kids to college. Is hard.
Mhm.
It's hard because it's hard to go to a state university in Peru. It's very hard. And you have the option to a private university, but it costs a lot of money. I saw my parents, spending a lot of money on my education in Peru. I don't think I could afford all 4 going to college in Peru. So I decided to sacrifice my dreams to continue working as a teacher, to leave my dreams on my kids. So yes, and my kids were my strength. I see those 4 faces every day, every morning, and those 4 faces happy. It will push me to leave,
Wow.
to leave to work and have, 4 or 5 hours, sometimes 7 if I'm lucky. But yes, the kids were my strength. That was the force to make me wake up even when I was tired to go to work. Yes.
Wow. You know, when we spoke last week and you talked so much about the richness of the community in New Paltz and how much you love it now and you loved it then and how they helped you get through this really challenging period of being a single mom of four kids, working 7 days a week.
It's amazing. A community help you to, you know, to go through all what I was going through. I like I tell you, I was amazed that people helped me
Mm-hmm.
a lot with the transportation, and sometimes I had to go to work super early, and there were people who offered to send the kids on the bus when they were very young. And now when they're in middle school, they don't need anybody. I can leave the breakfast. Okay, I gotta go, sweetheart, and they all go out. But
Mm-hmm.
when they were in elementary school, I have a lot of people in the community who offer. If you ever need um, help putting the kids to the bus, just drop them off in my house, and I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
I will do that sometimes. Yes. And well, when the kids were in high school, they were driving and they were working. It changed. It gave me a little bit more of freedom that I can go to work. We have a meal together, and they will go to sleep, and I will go to work again. Yes, yes.
And are you still working 7 days a week?
Now that the kids move on, now that they're all working and they doing their own thing. No, I'm working 5 days a week now.
Good.
And I have Saturdays and Sundays to be with them, whoever stay here with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just an incredibly remarkable story and so beautiful too, that you put your dreams into your children. And your one daughter in particular has a remarkable story and it became somewhat of a community political activist, right?
Yes, yes, yes. That's my daughter Alex. My daughter Alex was in high school already, in her junior or senior year, and she was a part of this group from immigrants. And when Trump, was our president, she really got scared, about all what she was hearing. That he want to send all the immigrants back to their countries, and my four kids were terrified. They were afraid. What's going to happen with mom. I remember I was on the mall and my daughter was sat and she was on the phone and I was like, who you talking? No, I don't want to say nothing. But she called somebody in town and they have a meeting. She had the idea that she want to turn Newport into a sanctuary for immigrants. And, she didn't say much to me, but later, she said, well, I made it. I called all the people on town and we're going to have a meeting in the civic center and we're going to talk. We're going to turn Newport into a sanctuary. Mom, I don't want you and the other families in Newport to be scared, because we were all scared. I'm telling you, we were all scared what's going to happen with us, So we had that meeting and they record the meeting always, but this meeting in particular, they didn't record it because I told them that I want to share my story.
Mm-hmm.
There was somebody in particular, a police guy who worked in the city, New York City, and he lived in Newport. And, he gave his statement and he said that he didn't want Newport to be turned into a sanctuary because he see in the city how Latinos destroy everything. They don't care about anything. They careless. They don't want to turn his beloved Newport into a sanctuary, and I decided to talk, and I was like, yes, and I assume you're right. Yes, I'm from Rockland County. We Latinos were not accepted in Rockland County, and I think when you live like that with people not accepting you, because where you're coming from, you end up living careless. You don't care if the garbage outside you don't care if there's garbage outside your house. You don't care about anything, if they need people to help you building something, you're not gonna care, because why? Nobody cares about you.
Mm.
So I say, but it's different here in Newport. I'm telling you, people in Newport accept us and help us, and we feel part of the community. So if you see a house of Latinos, you're not gonna see the same view like in the city. We really care about the community because we know the people accept us the way we are, and from where we're coming from. People help us, so we do the best to take care of our town.
Mm.
And people clap. I was crying. I was like, I'm hoping really that you turn Newport into a sanctuary for not just for my kids, for my friends. And it was very emotional. We all cry, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they pass it. Yes, Newport
Wow.
turned into a sanctuary, and my daughter was in the newspaper. Because I was amazed. My daughter was in the newspaper, and yes, the town of Newport turned into a sanctuary for immigrants. There's only 20 families, Latinos living in Newport in the time,
Uh-huh.
and they work on the farms.
Uh-huh.
But yes, I'm proud of my daughter. Very proud of her.
You make a very good point, though, about if people are not accepted in a community, how can you expect them to act as if they are part of the community and be supportive of others and behave to a certain social acceptance when they themselves are not being reciprocated in that way?
Yeah, it's true, and I live that. I'm telling you, in Rockland County, yes, people don't care about anything, because yes, we have to be locked in our house. The kids don't want to mix with us. But I'm telling you, here people are so nice that when there is any activity to help in town, like they built a dog park. Me and my friend, we all went there and helped. They fixed also the kids park in town. It was a big project, and all of us, after 5, when we were working, we were all there helping, putting nails,
Mm.
putting rocks for everything. We did everything. You see, I believe that if the community is more accepting to the immigrants, you see, and we work together, it will be much, it will be better.
Mhm.
Yes.
How did you help your children navigate their emotions of rejection when you lived in Rockland County, and then when they were so terrified with the change of administration a few years back? I mean, you yourself are struggling with your own emotions as a mother, right? You're worried about your children and their feelings are being hurt. How can you remember how you helped them feel better, or, get them to move forward and shake it off, as they say?
Oh my God, it was hard. I was also terrified when I had to drive to Rockland County. I was terrified because in Rockland County they were arresting a lot of immigrants when they were driving. Yes, it was scary. So I was just telling my kid, listen, I'm just gonna go straight to work, and I'm gonna go very late, so I don't get I don't get stopped by anybody. And I was coming back home. It was a terrifying moment for all of us, and I was trying to put my best face, telling them, nah, don't worry, nothing gonna happen. But yes, I was terrified driving to Rockland County to work, because I know in Rockland County there's a big Latino community, and a lot of people were deported.
Mm.
People that we knew, they were deported. It was sad. My mom, she's she was a citizen at the time. She was a resident, I think, at the time, and a lot of her friends they were deported. It was a very scary situation, and for my kids too, they were very scared that I will maybe not come back that night.
Mm.
So but we managed. We went through.
Yep.
But yeah, it was scary. Yeah, just what can you do? You just try to comfort your kid, and say that everything is gonna be okay. This will pass. The president will not be there forever. Things will change.
Right.
Things will just be positive. Things will change. I was very careful driving, but it was a terrifying times.
And despite all of that, you're still grateful and thankful for the community that you have and your life in New Paltz and in the United States.
And I'm very grateful for my community, and I'm grateful to be in this great country that, I don't know how a single man with 4 kids couldn't make through. My kids went to college. My daughter Alex went to Bard University, and she studied Middle East and Arabic. And my son Joey, which is the youngest one of my crew, he studied to be a airplane mechanic, and he worked for American Airlines in Albany. My daughter Nikki finished her career of environmental science, and now she's doing her master to be a lawyer in Scotland.
In Scotland.
She's in Scotland. Yeah, she's in Caledonian University.
Wow.
And I have my son Sean, who studied in Bosses to be a chef. He has his degree, but right now he's not sure what he wants. And he took over my cleaning business. Yes, he's doing the buildings because I'm tired already of doing the buildings are hard. I don't feel so strong anymore to move these big bags of garbage. So he took over the business, and I'm very happy with the life my kids have. Yes.
What kind of advice would you have for single moms now that you're an expert?
Well, life is hard, but you always have to see the good side of everything. That you have to try to put your best faith and work hard for those kids. I always tell my kids, don't have kids so young. Make sure you go to college and do what you have to do, because when you have kids, they're gonna be they have to be first. Right. And you have to think, when you have your kids, you are behind now. They have to be first, and just work hard and try to live every moment that you can with your kids. I'm blessed that the job I did, it was hard. I never cleaned houses in Peru. I was working as a teacher, but you see, that job gave me the flexibility to be with my kids when I needed. If they didn't have a school or there was a holiday and I still gotta work, they would come all along with me. They were great kids. Mm. But yes, we did have a tough life, but we see always the positive on everything. We were together always.
Wow, what a remarkable story. And your perspective is so amazing. It's going to keep a smile on my face all day long. So thank you so much, Renata, for sharing your story. And listeners, if you like today's episode, please like us, share us, tell your friends about us, and tune in next week. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can reach me at the healthabilityproject@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for joining us today at the Healthability Project. We'd love to hear from you, so please email us your questions, comments, or suggestions, including future guests, to the healthabilityproject@gmail.com. And please like us, subscribe, and share us with your friends.